How we doing, everybody, and welcome back to the Catalyst, where we break down all things bullish in the crypto markets. Today we are going to go over Polkadot. We actually haven't gone over Polkadot in quite a few weeks now, I think. And I just want to kind of point out, I think, what's going on here with Polkadot. We've had this kind of steady decline from our, I guess, new all-time high in the 53 range. From the previous, which was about 48, so a little bit more, about 10% higher than the last one. And now we are starting to see a bit of an uptrend over the last few days as the market's recovering. Bitcoin's currently up about 1% at the time of me making this video right now. Polkadot is surging about 7% right now. So where are we going with Polkadot is kind of the big question that everyone is kind of asking here. And well, one thing, it looks like we have made a pretty solid reversal, and we're finding some support here at the $24 mark. So if you're able to get in there, congrats. That would have been a pretty good time to buy, because even just since then we're up about 20% or so. So that's a pretty good buy-in. So let's see what happens. Where can we go from here, and what might need to happen for us to kind of continue this reversal. First off, you can see we are kind of bumping our heads at the 0.236, so at the approximately $30 mark, $31 mark. Ideally, obviously, we break through this, but one thing that's really nice right now is we are starting to turn the 20 into support. Anytime that happens, as we stay above the 20 in support, we will eventually cross the other time frames at some point. So you can kind of see that here, right? So we flipped the 20 here, turned into support. Later, then it flipped the 50, continued support. Then we flipped the 100 and then the 200 at about the same time there, and that's where we went into our big kind of bullish cycle, right? Where we at least a bullish point in the market, or for Polkadot here, where we went from here bullish all the way up to here, and then we had our death cross here, and then we've been kind of de-escalating from there. The MACD looks good, RSI looks good. We have plenty of room to run. We are actually at about the same level that we were at right about here. So right at the beginning of this cross is about the level we're at right now. Granted, we are at $31 right now, and back then we were at about $20. So we're 30% higher than we were last time, which could mean we could see 30% higher than where we capped out at before we had a big retracement. So we'll see what happens. The other thing that seems kind of interesting is there's potential giant cup and handle pattern playing out here. I bet you if we went to a longer time frame, like the weekly, we would see this kind of nicely here, right? So big cup, big handle. Typically what happens there is the depth of the cup is the target. So for me right now, $89 is the potential price target for Polkadot. Obviously, I have no idea when that will happen. It's going to take some time, but we've seen what other cryptos can do in just a month or two, where they're ripping up 6% a day. Solana went from $30 to $200 over the course of, I think, a month and a half or 2 months. So it's crypto, so obviously anything can happen. But I think we're looking good for Polkadot so far right now. Anyways, if you see kind of that golden cross, right, where the green line will start to cross some of these other ones, especially the 50, that's a good position to buy in, right? So if you bought back here, at $21, and even if you just waited until, we start to kind of resist, right? If you sold on this big pullback, you still doubled your money. So that's a good kind of method to use, is just, buy when there's a cross, and then sell when there's, some signs of another one. When we start to ride the 20 as resistance, that's going to be a bad time. So as long as we're sitting above this, I think we're doing all right. And I look for us to potentially hit that $89 mark. Obviously, first we have a long way to go. First we have to break through some key resistances here, as we go up, because there's going to be some sort of historical resistance as we start to escalate here. So we'll see what happens, but it didn't take too long for us to go from $12 to $53. So this next rip could be pretty solid for us as well, because that was a 5x from there. So if we do a 5x from here, that's well past the $80 mark, and that's up towards a lot of people's price targets at like the 150 mark. So even somewhere up in here, which would be, pretty reminiscent of what Solana did, right? Look at this. So over the course of, I don't know, what is that? August to November. So 1, 2, 3 months or so, we went from $42 up to $220. So that's obviously pretty wild. And you could go even lower. The lowest we were at was at $20. So Solana went absolutely nuclear. So that's, stuff like that's potentially in the cards for Polkadot as well. So otherwise, let me know what you guys think about Polkadot. I think this cup and handle pattern could potentially play out here. It's looking positive so far. And then from there, $89 seems to be a pretty good target, pretty conservative target actually, in terms of crypto anyways. So let me know what you guys think about all that, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.